In this video, you will define a block that contains 3 attribute definitions and 2 rectangles. This block will be called a room tag. You will enter attribute values as you insert room tags into the various rooms of this office plan. Go ahead and open Office Plan 2 to begin. Before we define this as a block, let's go ahead and set the current layer. Click on the Home tab, open the Layers drop-down, scroll down and select Tags to set this layer current. Then go back to the Insert tab and click Create Block. Type the name Room Tag and then specify the base point by picking a point and snapping it to the midpoint here. Then select the objects. I'll select both rectangles, and then the order in which you select the attribute definitions is significant. This will be the order that they appear in the attribute editor. So I'm just going to select them from the top down. 1, 2, 3. Enter. Choose Convert to Block and click OK. You're immediately presented with this Edit Attributes dialog box, where you can input attribute values. We're looking at the defaults right now that were set up in the attribute definitions. General and 1500 are those defaults. Now we can change these values to anything that we need to. So right now this particular tag is in the reception area. So general is a good description for that department. The employee last name will refer to the receptionist. I'll click right here and type Jones. And then the room number will be 1501. OK. The values appear in the room tag. Let's insert another room tag. Scroll over here, and let's place a room tag in this manager's office. Click Insert Block, choose the room tag, specify its insertion point on screen, and leave the scale and rotation angles at their defaults. Click OK, and then click in this manager's office someplace to set the location of the room tag. Notice on the command line it says Department, and it gives us a default of General. In this case, I'm going to change that to HR for Human Resources. I'll press Enter, and then I'll type the employee last name, Gonzalez. Enter. And the room number is 1502. Enter. Let's do that again. But this time, I'm going to change a system variable. Type ATTDIA and press Enter. This stands for Attribute Dialog Box. And it's a very simple system variable. It's either off or on. It's off when it's set to 0, and it's on when it's set to 1. So let's turn this on by typing 1, Enter. Now this is really just a matter of personal preference. The difference you'll see in a moment. Insert, room tag, OK. Click right here. And this is the difference. Instead of being presented with these queries on the command line, you're given this information in a dialog box interface. So if you like this, go ahead and set @dia to 1, and if not, just leave it set to 0. This particular manager is also in the HR department. I'll press Tab to move to the next line. Their last name is Lee. Press Tab, and the room number is 1503. OK. Let's say that I just realized the employee name is incorrect. I can easily change that by clicking Edit Attribute. This uses the EATEdit command, which stands for Extended Attribute Editor. I'll click the button and then select the room tag. This brings up the dialog box where I can select the relevant attribute definition, and then go ahead and change the value. This is going to be Mbili. Okay. I'll pan over and zoom out a bit. Let's add another room tag to this open office space. Insert, room tag, OK. Click right here. The department here will be Production. Press Tab to move to the next line. Now here we have lots of different people working in this open office. All these workstations are in the production department. So for the employee last name, I'll type in production department, like that. The room number will be 1504. Okay. Now we have a problem. Let's zoom in. It doesn't quite fit in the rectangle that was designed in this room tag block. We can fix that by either abbreviating the value that I just entered or by compressing it in width. I'll take the latter approach. You can trigger the Extended Attribute Editor simply by double-clicking on an attributed block. So that's a little shortcut, so you don't have to go up here and use this tool every time. Now, in this case, I need to change the width of this particular value. I'll select this line, go to Text Options, and change the width factor. Let's try 0.6. Press Tab, and you see the effect on screen immediately. That looks good. I'll click OK and zoom out. That only affected that individual room tag. You can see that these other attributes look the same. If you wanted to change the width of all of these attributes, you can do so using this tool. Batman is the command name. It stands for Block Attribute Manager. Click the button, select LName, and then double-click. That opens up another dialog box where you can access text options. Here, I'll change the width factor to 0.6, press Tab, and if you notice, all of the attributes changed in each one of the room tags. So this is a global edit. I'll click OK, and OK again. So you've learned how to include attribute definitions in a block, and how to enter attribute values as you insert blocks. You've also learned how to change the width of attribute values one at a time, and globally at the attribute definition level using the EAT Edit and Batman commands.